Now at 5, cause for change in the streets of Akron. One day after a grand jury decided the 8 officers who shot and killed Jayland Walker will not face criminal charges.
So one thing we know is that things cannot remain the same forever. There will be a change.
There does need to be healing in the community, but we have to start in a way that we're listening to each other too.
Our live team coverage starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here for the news at 5 o'clock. I'm DeLon Dillard.
And I'm Courtney Gooseman, live in Akron the day after a grand jury declined to indict any of the 8 officers involved in the deadly police shooting of Jayland Walker. Now tonight we have team coverage. We're talking with the city's mayor and police chief, as well as the police oversight board, to find out where the city of Akron goes from here. But first, we start with today's demonstrations. I'm here at the First Congregational Church in Akron, where the Walker family attended a rally and marchers stepped off about an hour ago. Now, that rally inside the church included people from all walks of life, all races and ages, who really wanted to just express their frustration and anger over the decision not to indict in the Walker case. Walker's mother and sister attended that rally but did not address the crowd.
It's time for us to get outside and get active, because this has got to stop. That's right. This cannot happen any longer, and it's going to keep happening until we do something about it.
Now we want to turn to our Jordan Vandenberg, who has been following today's demonstration all day. It's a real tough job, but Jordan, I heard you say repeatedly, all was peaceful and all was organized.
Yeah, it was extremely well organized, and they had people blocking it. They had even more. They're all demanding.
Okay, it appears we're having some technical difficulties with Jordan's shot. We will try to get that shot back up and maybe revisit Jordan a little bit later. But the decision not to indict the 8 Akron police officers doesn't end the investigation into what happened to Jayland Walker. There will be an internal probe within the Akron Police Department to determine if the officers violated any of Akron's police policies. So if violations are found, will those officers be disciplined? Today, News 5's Bob Jones talked one-on-one with both Akron's police chief and the mayor. So, Bob, what did they have to say?
Well, Courtney, both of them once again expressed condolences to the Walker family, and the chief said he is willing to meet with that family if they want to. The chief went on to say that the internal investigation will go as long as it needs to get answers. Asked if he believes there was justice for Jayland Walker after the grand jury's decision, Akron Police Chief Steve Milet had this response.
Do I think justice was served in the process? Yes, I do. In terms of individuals' interpretation of what justice is, I can't comment on that.
I also asked Milet if it appears the officers violated any policies based on what was revealed in the Attorney General's lengthy investigative report.
I just downloaded this today, started going through it. Nothing is jumping out at me right now, but there could be.
Walker was shot 46 times by 8 officers after a car and foot chase. Investigators say Walker was unarmed during the shooting, but he fired a shot from a car less than a minute into the chase. And as he was running, he turned and raised an arm towards the officers before more than 90 shots were fired in less than 7 seconds. The officers were on paid leave during the grand jury proceedings, but Milet said they will be brought back for non-patrol duties even as the internal investigation continues. Why not just keep them on leave until you're done with the internal probe?
I don't think there's a need to. I don't. They're not under criminal investigation any longer.
I also spoke to Mayor Dan Horgan about the pain Akron is feeling because of the Jayland Walker case.
I'm just going to be honest. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
And a statement made yesterday by Judy Hill from the NAACP.
We didn't get an indictment here, but there's an indictment on the city of Akron.
How do you feel about that statement?
I don't share that opinion, and people can have those opinions about how it is an indictment against the city of Akron. That doesn't stop the work that needs to be done and how we continue to need to do better to produce better outcomes.
Horgan also said he understands why people want to protest, and he supports that right.
There does need to be healing in the community, but we have to start in a way that we're listening to each other too.
But Milet is worried about the potential for violence.
Your voice matters, your message matters, and we are listening. But destroying stuff, that's not an option.
Milet says the internal investigation could take up to 2 months, and the Attorney General's report is only one factor he'll consider before determining if the officers violated any procedures.
I do think that the grand jury's decision that the officers did not commit any crimes is significant. I do.
And again, that internal investigation could take a few weeks, it could take a couple of months, and the police chief says that if the officers are cleared of any violations, they could be returned to full duty back on the streets by the summer. Courtney?
Bob, great job there. You packed a lot of information in a short amount of time there, and I know you did a lot of work today. But just to be clear, I want to ask you this. The chief will make the final call when it comes to these officers, right?
Well, that's right. Internal Affairs will be made up of 3 supervisors who will review this case. They will then turn over a report to the police chief, and then it ultimately is up to him to make a decision. If he finds that the officers violated any procedures or policies, they could face anything from a reprimand to termination.
Completely understand. Our Bob Jones reporting live again from Akron tonight. Bob, we appreciate you. Now we want to turn to our Jordan Vandenberg. Jordan, we have your shot back up, and I know you've been following today's demonstrations. What's the latest?
Yeah, we heard in Bob's piece just a few minutes ago, the police chief expressing some concern and some anxieties of whether there would be violent protests or violence stemming from these protests. But so far, the protests that I've seen today and some of the demonstrations that I saw last night, we have not seen any of the sort, which is certainly good news. There were about 100, 150 demonstrators that started here at First Congregational Church of Akron earlier this afternoon, and then they made the half-mile journey back downtown toward the federal courthouse, where they made numerous speeches, and they continued their demonstration as they continued to call for a Department of Justice investigation into the patterns and practices of the Akron Police Department. And numerous speakers took the mic as federal agents inside the federal building were looking on, and hear what some of these speakers had to say.
That's what this building is for. So we are here today at another level of demanding justice. We will continue to demand justice. But in order to get justice, we must know and understand who the target is.
And after the demonstration at the federal building, those demonstrators then came back up Market Street to continue their protests, and they just wrapped up here about 15-20 minutes ago here at the First Congregational Church of Akron. Again, the protests, the demonstrations were entirely peaceful, and everyone is back here at the church tonight. Courtney?
All right, our Jordan Vandenberg reporting again live from Akron. We appreciate you. Now, in the immediate aftermath of Jayland Walker's deadly shooting, people in Akron, they quickly mobilized and managed to get Issue 10 passed and on the November ballot. It called for the mayor and city council to appoint 9 people to a citizens advisory review board. However, Akron City Council missed its February deadline for filling all of those seats, which in turn put things behind schedule. Well, now that the board has been mostly formed, members are working to figure out its way, and they're also dealing with the aftermath of yesterday's decision. News 5's Nadine Abusada continues our live team coverage from Akron as well. Nadine, you have more on that, but first we want you to tell us what's going on where you are right now. More protests and demonstrations, right?
Yeah, Courtney, if you take a look behind me, it's a group of about 24 protesters right here at Akron University. And the posters speak for themselves. Justice for Jayland. Blood is on their hands. 94 shots fired, not held accountable. Now, I spoke to some of these students, and they say they want to make sure their voices are heard for those that aren't able to have their voices heard. Now, what you mentioned earlier, we spoke to City Council President Margot Somerville, along with the chair for the Citizens Police Oversight Board. And one thing they agree with is the same thing these students are saying, is that work needs to be done, but they know it won't happen overnight.
To find out that there would be no indictments and and that no one would be held accountable.
Today, the city of Akron is reacting to the grand jury decision not to charge the officers involved in the Jayland Walker shooting.
Yesterday was tough, right? Because for so long we hoped and we prayed that there would be some sense of accountability. And yesterday, we didn't see that.
Councilwoman Margot Somerville, like many, hurt for her community and the Walker family.
And almost to say as if everything that happened that night was done right and was okay is very troubling.
But what gives her hope is that 2.5 weeks ago, the council finally came to a consensus on the Citizens Police Oversight Review Board.
Where we could look at our practices, our policies, and see how we can modernize them and update them.
Kent Boyd is the chair.
Great group of people. People from different backgrounds, dynamics, and professions.
The council was supposed to vote on the seats by February 27th per the charter. Instead, they made the decision more than a month later, which set the timeline back.
Right now, we're living in this kind of place to where there is distrust, all things city, right? And so the last thing you want is to start late.
And to add, with the Jayland Walker grand jury news, Kent Boyd feels the importance of their new role.
I think we feel a certain sense of responsibility. I think to the city, to the community, to the citizens, but I think also to the police department as well.
Right now, they are communicating with advisory boards in other states, learning what their roles entail and the power the charter gives them.
We're just all kind of new to this, so we're still walking through what kind of the process and procedure are going to look like before we can really delve into that.
Their goal is to make the change that prevents the city of Akron from being in a situation like Jayland Walker's.
I think there is the practical need of repairing or rebuilding trust. Trust between a community, trust between its police department.
Now, there is an internal investigation underway into those officers' actions. Now, those findings will be given to the police auditor, and it is unclear what role the oversight board will play. And for these protesters, they decided to come out here and peacefully protest. Again, take a look at those posters. They walked the campus, and they said they wanted to make sure, again, that their voices were heard in the most peaceful way possible.
We keep us safe.
I'm going to send it right back to you guys. And this is the site, again, that you're seeing all across Akron, guys.
Who keeps us safe? Keep us safe.
Again, that's News 5's Nadine Abusada. So glad to see things have been peaceful here in the city of Akron today. Our coverage of the Jayland Walker grand jury decision continues. In our next half hour, News 5 investigator Scott Knoll is digging into the evidence made public by the Attorney General's office. His report is coming up at 5:30. In the meantime, we're going to send it back to my co-anchor in studio, Delon.
And Courtney, we appreciate you and the rest of the team's hard work down there in Akron. We'll see you back here in just about 30 minutes. Next, Court.